You don't become unstoppable by winning. You become unstoppable by refusing to stop when everything inside you is screaming to quit. That's the truth. Because being unstoppable is not about strength. It's not about talent. It's not about being better than everyone else. It's about endurance. It's about what you do when it's hard, when it's boring, when it's painful, when nobody is watching and nothing feels worth it. That's where unstoppable is born, not in the spotlight, in the struggle. Right now, you think being unstoppable means you never feel doubt. Wrong. You will doubt. You will feel tired. You will question everything. But unstoppable people, they move anyway. Let that sink in. They don't wait for confidence, they build it through action. They don't wait for clarity, they create it through movement. They don't wait for the perfect moment, they become the moment. And that's what separates them. Because most people, they negotiate with discomfort. They pause, they hesitate. They tell themselves stories to justify stopping. I deserve a break. It's too much today. I'll come back stronger tomorrow. Number. That's how momentum dies. That's how dreams fade. That's how average is built, piece by piece, excuse by excuse, day by day. But you are not here to be average. You are here to become something else, something dangerous, something relentless, something that doesn't bend when pressure hits. Because life will test you over and over again. Not once, not twice, but every single time you try to level up. And every test asks the same question. Will you stop? That's it. Not how talented you are, not how smart you are. Just one question. Will you stop? And if your answer is yes, even once, the pattern begins. Because stopping is a habit, just like pushing forward is a habit. So what are you training? Read that again. Every time you push through discomfort, you build momentum. Every time you quit, you build weakness. There is no neutral. You are always becoming something. Stronger or softer, sharper or duller, disciplined or distracted. And the scary part, it compounds. Small actions today become your identity tomorrow. That's why this matters. That's why this moment matters. Because right now, you are casting votes for the person you are becoming. One decision at a time. One action at a time. And unstoppable is not a title you claim. It's a standard you prove. Daily, relentlessly, without negotiation. Because here's the reality most people avoid. There is no finish line where it suddenly gets easy. There is no moment where you've made it and can finally relax. Because the moment you relax, you slip. The moment you slow down, you lose edge. And the moment you lose edge, you become like everyone else. Comfortable, predictable, replaceable. That's not you. That will never be you. Because once you taste discipline, once you feel what it's like to push past your limits, once you realize how much you're actually capable of, there's no going back. You can't unsee it. You can't unfeel it. You can't pretend you don't know anymore. So now, you either rise to it, or you live with the regret of knowing you didn't. And that regret, it's heavier than any pain you're trying to avoid right now. Because pain fades, but regret stays. So choose your weight. Choose your struggle. Because either way, you're going to feel something. And unstoppable people? They choose the pain that builds them. They choose the struggle that sharpens them. They choose the path that most people avoid. That's why they win. Not because it's easy, but because they refuse to stop when it's hard. At some point, the fire either dies or it consumes everything that's holding you back. There is no middle ground. Because becoming unstoppable is not a phase. It's not something you turn on when you feel inspired and turn off when life gets uncomfortable. It's a state you build, a state where stopping is no longer an option. And this is where things change. Because now, it's no longer about motivation. It's no longer about proving anything to anyone. It's not even about the goal anymore. It's about who you've become in the process. Let that sink in. You've trained yourself to move when it's hard. You've trained yourself to show up when it's inconvenient. You've trained yourself to execute when your mind is full of noise. That's not normal. That's rare. That's power. Because most people are still stuck at the starting line, waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect plan, the perfect version of themselves that never comes. But you started before you were ready. You moved before you were confident. You kept going when it made no sense. And now you're dangerous. Not because you're perfect, but because you're consistent. And consistency beats everything. Talent fades. Motivation disappears. But consistency compounds. Day after day, week after week, until the gap between you and everyone else becomes impossible to close. This is where unstoppable becomes real. Not loud, not flashy, quiet, controlled, certain. Because now you don't need validation. You don't need approval. You don't need someone to tell you you're doing well. You know. And that knowing, it's unshakable. But listen carefully. This is also where the next level begins. Because once you become unstoppable, the standard rises again. The expectations increase, the pressure grows, and the question returns. Not, can you start? But, can you sustain? Because starting is easy, finishing is rare, and maintaining excellence, that's elite. That's where very few people live. Because it requires something deeper than discipline. It requires obsession. Not unhealthy obsession, focused obsession. A commitment so strong that your actions align with it automatically. You don't think about whether to show up. You show up. You don't debate whether to push harder. You push. You don't question whether it's worth it. You already decided it is. That's the difference. Decision removes hesitation. Commitment removes doubt. And obsession removes alternatives. There is no plan B. There is no backup. There is only forward. Always forward. And this is where your identity locks in. You are no longer chasing goals. You are embodying standards. You are no longer reacting to life. You are dictating it. Because unstoppable people don't wait for opportunities. They create them. They don't wait for doors. They build them. They don't wait for permission. They move anyway. That's why they stand out. That's why they rise. That's why they win. And here's the part nobody wants to hear. It never ends. There is no final level, no permanent comfort, no lasting ease. Because growth demands more, always. And if you stop feeding that growth, you fall back. That's the rule. So you stay sharp, you stay focused, you stay disciplined, not because you have to, but because it's who you are now. This is identity. This is power. This is what it means to become unstoppable, not invincible, not perfect, but relentless, adaptable, unbreakable in mindset. And when life hits you again, and it will, you won't fold, you won't panic, you won't retreat, you'll adjust, you'll respond, you'll keep moving, because that's what you do now. That's who you are now. And this is where it all comes together, not in a moment of hype, not in a burst of emotion, but in a quiet, undeniable truth. You don't stop anymore. That version of you is gone. The one who hesitated, the one who waited, the one who needed perfect conditions. That person doesn't exist here, because now you've crossed a line most people never reach. A line where discipline is automatic, where standards are non-negotiable, where excuses don't even get a voice. Let that sink in. You didn't get here by accident. You built this through resistance, through pressure, through days when nothing felt right, and you still showed up. That's what forged you, not the wins, the work, not the easy days, the hard ones you refuse to escape. That's why this version of you is different. Because you earned it, and now you protect it. Because losing this version of yourself would cost too much. You've seen what you're capable of. You've felt what it means to operate at a higher level. You've experienced the power of alignment, when your thoughts, actions, and standards all move in the same direction. You can't go back to less. You won't accept less. Because now you understand something deeper. Unstoppable is not about speed. It's about refusal. Refusal to quit. Refusal to settle. Refusal to betray your own potential. And that refusal, it becomes your foundation. So when life hits harder, you don't break. You absorb it. You adapt. You respond with precision. Because pressure no longer scares you. Pressure reveals you. Read that again. Pressure doesn't create weakness. It exposes it. And you've already faced yours. you've already confronted your limits. You've already walked through discomfort enough times to know you can handle more. So now, you lean into it. You don't run, you don't hide, you step forward. Because that's where growth lives. That's where expansion happens. That's where the next version of you is waiting. And you go get it every single time. No hesitation, no negotiation, no excuses. This is your standard now. And standards don't drop, they rise. Because you're not chasing average. You're not chasing approval. You're not chasing shortcuts. You're building something permanent, something unshakable, something that doesn't disappear when things get hard. That's what unstoppable really is. It's not loud. It's not flashy. It's not emotional. It's controlled, focused, relentless. And it shows up every single day, whether anyone notices or not. Because you don't need recognition anymore. You don't need validation. You don't need permission. You move because that's who you are. And that's why nothing can stop you. Not failure, not doubt, not fear. Because those things don't define you anymore. They test you. And every time they show up, you answer the same way. With action, with discipline, with execution. That's your language now. And the world has no choice but to respond to it. Because consistency forces results. Effort forces growth. And discipline forces transformation. So this is it. This is the moment you lock it in. Not temporarily. Not when it's convenient. But permanently. You don't go back. You don't slow down. You don't question your path. You commit. Fully, relentlessly, without compromise. Because you are no longer building motivation. You are building identity. And identity doesn't break. It doesn't fold. It doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable. It stands. It executes. It wins every single time. So when the world asks who you are, you don't answer with words. You answer with actions. Relentless actions. Unstoppable actions. Because that is what you've become. Not someone who tries. Not someone who hopes. Not someone who waits. You are the one who moves. The one who builds. The one who finishes. And from this point forward, there is only one direction left. Forward. Always forward. No matter what.